We're here today in beautiful Ypsilanti, Michigan, with James Lights Out Toney. 77, 10, 3, 47 KOs. 29-year career. What's next for James Toney?
Right now, I'm about to do career business opportunities that came to me, and I see how it's gonna pan out. It should pan very well, and I'm doing bigger and better things.
So let's start with the cigars.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cigars. You got started with a group of fighters.
Yeah, me, Emma Brewster, Ray Mercer, Great Big Daddy Bo, and Chris Berg.
Chris Berg.
So first, I was gonna do a solo deal with Camacho, like, say, 4 years ago.
Okay.
And then Randy called me and said, man, we do our own thing. We've been only heavyweight champs. Start our own company and branch out and do our own thing. And instead of working for somebody, we be the bosses. So then we came over with heavyweight champs Cigar.
That's a great idea.
And it's been going okay. We're in the baby stage, the infant stage, and pretty soon we're about to explode though.
Wow. Now, where are they produced? Did you find, I don't know how tobacco is rolled.
The tobacconists and all that.
Okay.
It's rolled and made in Nicaragua. And we also have a mixture. We have the James Toney mixed with Nicaragua and Dominican.
That's great.
Everybody's mixed with Nicaragua.
And I've seen your website. Let's give the name for that too as well. We're going to share that with your fans.
World Champs LCC.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Okay, good. So can they buy it online? I don't know if that's...
They buy cigars online.
Okay.
They buy all our accessories online.
Okay. T-shirts,
keychain, boxing good, everything. Everything's available to them on that World Champs LCC.
Okay. So let's talk about boxing. What's next for you in boxing? What are your plans right now?
My plan right now, like I said, I just want the WBF Heavyweight Championship, my 5th heavyweight title. And I want, well, I shouldn't tell you, but I'm going to put it out there. Me and Roy going to fight again. And probably, we don't have to fight or the date yet, but it's coming soon.
Okay, good.
And, so then fight Shannon Briggs, and that will be it.
Okay. Because there's a lot of hype all the time online and a lot of questions from the bloggers, from the magazines, publications. They want to know, who started this? Did you get hit? Did you start talking to Roy? Did Roy say, I'll do it? And then what about Shannon as well?
Shannon has been running his mouth for a long time. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Champ, let's go out here.
Okay.
I'm on the champ. So I called him out. I was doing an interview in New York.
Okay.
Maybe 2 months ago. And he happened to be on the phone with the guy who was interviewing me. I said, whoa. Hey, Champ, how you doing? I said, let's go, Champ. Let's get up and let's get together. Let's go.
Okay.
He said talking, but unfortunately he's still under suspension. So we have to wait at least another month before we start talking.
Okay, right.
But in the meantime, we have the Roy Jones fight in negotiation. And that's what he said he's ready to do it.
Okay.
He's ready to do it. And
good.
We'll see if we put the pen where his mouth is.
Yeah. So what about the heavyweight titles? You are holding a heavyweight title in the United States, World Boxing Foundation heavyweight champ. How did the heavyweight titles get away from U.S. champs? Starting back with Shannon Briggs prior to him, and then Klitschko held on for dear life for a long time.
Yeah, but see, Klitschko, I get he did great. He did a great job, an outstanding job, and but he fought the right fighters for him. And just like Shannon Briggs, same way, fought the right fight.
Right.
He fought the one guy and we knocked him out.
Right.
I feel right now the heavyweight today is Deontay Wilder. He's a good fighter.
Right.
I'm not gonna knock him. Good talent, fight, box a little bit. He's on James Toney's level. James Toney at 49 years old. No. Who was up there? Anthony Joshua, good fighter.
Right. But he is.
Big, strong guy.
Right.
But
he's not in the United States.
He's in the United States. He's not in the United States, and he was knocked out too. And who else? I don't see. It's so bad. I don't even keep up with boxing anymore.
Yeah.
He's so fluctuating.
Well, so why do you think there are so few United States heavyweight champs? We're talking back in the day, 80s, 90s, there was, and through the thousands.
Some children. But now you have people who just want to get in there and get a quick check, go home and go party and say, I want, and see me on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy, it's different. The work ethic is much different than it was from when I was coming up.
Okay.
And I feel right now that for me being an old guy, supposedly, I sure know how to do it.
Exactly.
I'm sure my last time, and I'm done. I have other things to do.
Right.
My kids getting older, so, I enjoy them. And, but in the meantime, I'm unfinished business.
Okay.
Unfinished business, and then once I'm done with that, the next chapter in my life will start.
So, out of the 29-year career, let's talk about some of the highlights. What was, in your mind, this was it for me? Was it the first title? Was it
the Michael fight? That was the biggest moment of my life at the time. Because that was the one that started it all.
Right.
And it was crazy because before the fight, everybody had me as 20-1 underdog. Oh my God! They are so wrong. I'll make them get their words. And so at first, it was kind of shaky because I got my game plan because he had me so mad. But when Bill Miller slapped me, he said, "Get up again." And started talking to me crazy. Then I straightened up and got the game plan back to what you're supposed to do. Everybody slowed down a little bit. And little Brown came and paid his electric bill.
Okay. And so following that, you went into multiple weight divisions. And, 14-time world champion, James Toney. So talk about some of those other highlights for you. What did you go by weight? Was that a big deal when you would win a next weight category?
This weight class was for Ivan Buckley. Buckley was me, ugly guy. He taught me twice. It was just talking all kind of trash to me. And I said, I'm gonna kick your ass. I want to kick your ass really good. And if I can't work with me, so what happened to him? He got butchered. So, and then after that, I moved up and won the heavyweight championship. I knocked on Fedor Gallo. And then moved up again. And for South Montana in Detroit.
Right.
That was the Super Cruiserweight Championship. Then I moved back down a year and a half later and beat Brazil Joe for the IBF Cruiserweight Championship.
Right.
And then moved up for Holyfield, to me, it was my all-time favorite fight because everybody said I was too small. Holyfield was going to kill me. He don't do this to me, he don't do this to me. I said, you know what? At first, matter of fact, we had a person that was going to fight. I was all bent, cool, saying, I'm going to be nice to this guy, give him his respect. But when they started talking about me and dog me on how I'm a 2-1 fight, I said, I told my pops, all bets are off. So I got my guys, I said, Holyfield, I came in to be nice to you today, but you know what? You want to talk a lot of junk about me. I said, before the little word, you. I said, I'm knocking you out. Yeah, you gonna let me out? I'm knocking you out. I said, yeah, I'm knocking you out. I'm going to kill you. Yeah, ain't happen. The whole training came out. I had my whole mind and said, now you hold it out. You the victim.
Well, and you've never been knocked out.
Yeah.
So you have no idea what that feels like.
Ain't gonna feel like. Ain't gonna feel like.
And
Drink you up.
it's a remarkable feat.
And then I started JTP, James Promotions, and I'm the promoter. And now I see what the promoters are doing. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm on the other side. Now I'm the promoter. Now I promote fighters.
Right.
So there's a big difference.
Well, and that's for this generation, a new phenomena. You're doing it, Roy's doing it, Mayweather's doing it, Evander's just really getting into it and started, and that's a new phenomena. And do you think that's going to be better for the fighters overall? I mean...
It all depends, because right now, you have some promoters out there that are protecting their stars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the problem with today's boxing. And that's why all the great fights that should be made that aren't, because too many egos. Hey, if I have a fighter who is 30 over 30 knockouts, world champion, and if he's the best fighter in the world, he want to fight the best fighter in the world, I'm gonna let him do it. But Bob Evans was a great guy, one of the great promoters. He's my promoter, but he's one of the guys that hold people back. He's like Don King, Don Hogan. They're all trying to protect the baby.
Right. Well, and that's where boxing today, compared to in the 90s, 2000s, 80s, and 70s, fans have gotten frustrated because they don't see they knew it because we've got YouTube, so they can look at the great matchups and rematches, and no matter what weight categories they used to happen. Today, look how long it took for those recent bouts to happen. Whether, I'm not talking about the Mayweather-McGregor, I'm talking about Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. That took forever. And then the outcome of that fight, that's what I enjoyed your comments on Instagram.
Man, that was highway robbery. And Judge Adelaide Bird.
Oh, Adelaide Bird. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's correct.
She's a great judge, but someone, maybe she take medication. So,
yeah.
That fight should be all 118, 112 at least for Triple G.
Yeah. It was interesting to see Canelo. Canelo's got a good jaw, and he put on a great fight.
But I'm saying is, at this era, the old era, skill-wise,
right.
15 fights.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Canelo was
right.
Canelo, to me, he's a paper champion. All his fights he fought subs. He always fought somebody smaller than him.
That's where you're saying protect the baby.
Protect it. So.
Well, and we're looking at now the money.
Yes.
Who would have known back in, I think it was 91 when one of the first fights was a $100 million fight. And here it is today. It is insane. Yes. So you've got, on the one hand, you've got this massive fan base, and never have I seen fans more protective of the fighters and supportive of the fighters. And yet still, the promoters aren't putting the fighters together for the fans, and it's making the sport go into decline.
Yeah. And everybody thinking MMA is the new thing, it's the hottest thing. Because, they put their name fight against one another all the time.
Right.
And with JTP, what we gonna do is put all our fights, tough fights, meaningful fights, world championship caliber fights. I want to bring boxing back how it was back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. That's how it should be. That's real boxing.
And that's for the fans. That's what they want to see.
The fans, they put their heart. They want 9-to-5 jobs. They spend their hard-earned money. They want to see real fight. They want to see no BS. Yeah. They want to see a guy 25 over fight a guy 7-10.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and the cost of the fights. it's expensive. UFC goes and puts it on Fox. Now they do have pay-per-view for the UFC bouts, and then they have them at the sports bars. But I'll tell you, it is very hard to find a. You can't go to any sports bar and see boxing
because UFC is giving the people what they want.
Right. So let's look at the actual real bottom line issue in boxing today is what are the feeder programs and what happened to those, the Detroit Box and Rec, for instance, and any state, boxing program for kids, Boys and Girls Clubs, PAL, AAU, Golden Gloves.
All state.
Are they gone? Is it that there's no trainers? Is there no one bringing kids in? Are kids not interested in boxing? Because it's like you said, work ethic. That's a lot of work. They have to run. They got sit-ups, speed bag, all this before they even step in the ring.
And I think it all goes back to UFC. The kids see it on TV. Every kid want to do MMA.
Okay.
My kid, I'm like, what the hell? But now you see his junior.
Right.
He loves it.
Yeah. Well, and the trainers, I know trainers don't pass down their secrets. And you work with Bill Miller.
Yeah.
And Bill could impart wisdom on you. He can train you and teach you. But there's many people who are saying, well, so-and-so trained me, so I'm a trainer now. Is that really possible?
No, it's not possible because you get that everywhere you go. Everybody. Well, I was training my students. Now I can show you things. I just show me. I'm gonna guarantee you this. Every trainer taught you, I bet you 5 out of 10 things he taught you are wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
So there is a lack of educating the fighters, the young fighters, how to fight, fit themselves, defense, offense, body shots, slip and slide. You don't get that anywhere. Not everywhere, bang. Well, like I said, go to the gym, hit the bag, hit the speed bag, jump rope, and go home.
Right. And tell people what your regimen was like,
Well, Bill Miller, Bill Miller used to get up early in the damn morning, like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and we used to run Shane Park, 4 or 5 miles. Every morning, no days off.
Right.
Go to the gym, afternoon, 2 o'clock, 2 to 5, hit the bags, jump rope, shell box, spar on some days. Before everything got really intense. We got intense, same routine every day, but we boxed every day, and I boxed 12 to 15 rounds.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's what I used to love to do. And then I would go to Big Tanny's, do Stairmaster, treadmill, lift weights.
And this is all in one day.
All one day.
Right.
But now, you got fighters who do that, but they're there for like 30 minutes, talking to girls, talking social media. And fighters like that don't last long.
So, in your career, what was the biggest challenge for you, would you say, overall?
My biggest challenge, everyone always saying, is he going to be in shape? Come in shape, how is he going to be? Everything was all good until September 29th, 04. I had fought Ryder Booker from Detroit. And beat him back. One, I busted my bicep and tricep in the first round. So I fought 11 rounds with one arm. And I completely tore the collarbone bone.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had my arm restricted. And at that time, I was so disappointed. I couldn't fight. I didn't let myself go. But then again, I fought John Maurice, 6-7 years later, when everybody said I would fight again, I forgot I was still taking medication to put the bone, to put the college. And, 2 years later, I fought Toney. 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 2 years later, I fou I popped for steroids. I'm steroids.
Right.
I'm a drug family, but I forgot the steroids still in my system. And then once again, I went through a little depression. And I never got my body back to how I'm supposed to be. So I never trained as hard as I want to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I busted the Achilles.
Right.
So now I'm off deep end.
Right.
But it was nobody, I'm not blaming nobody but myself because I got down myself because damn man, I trained hard and then injury after injury. I had never got hurt before in my life.
Right.
But here I have back-to-back fights, first the body, the tricep, and then the Achilles. Now what was going to happen?
Right. But see, I remember the first time I met you. Do you remember that? It was a long time ago. And the first thing you said was, you need to put that pen down, stop writing about him, and come and talk about me. But here we are, all this time later, and James, here you are. You're still here. You're still here, and you're still doing it. But you have a tenacity that I've always respected, drive like no other. You believe in yourself. And when people would doubt you, you know, you didn't have to say anything because you showed them in the ring. So it's an honor to see you again today. It's an honor to talk with you. Appreciate your time.
Rebekah Brown is always was, always will be. Hey, talk to Rebekah Brown. She make you smile. Right?